Today on the show, I'm going to be answering the question, what is Miraculous Ladybug? Pre-warning to this video, I am not watching the English version of this series, I'm watching the French version, so sometimes some of the names I say might be a little bit different, I might pronounce them differently, it's just a whole thing because I'm learning French. Okay, so Miraculous Ladybug is a CGI cartoon that was released last year in Korean, French, and English. Its original language is French, and it was dubbed into the other two languages, but it was released first in Korea, and it's our first look into the Quantic universe. Now, the Quantic universe is sort of like Europe's answer to the Marvel and DC universes, but it's going to be explored through cartoons rather than comic books, although we might get comic books from it in the future. So the series all started with a man named Thomas Astrup. He was working with a woman that was wearing a Ladybug t-shirt, and that gave him the idea of Miraculous Ladybug, the superhero. And he'd just start doodling comic book covers, but he never took it beyond the idea of just doodles. And then one day, he would meet Jeremy Zag. Jeremy Zag is a producer at Zagtoon Entertainment, and he would give Thomas everything he needed to take Ladybug further. So the series actually stars Marionette, a superhero called Miraculous Ladybug, but it hasn't always been that way. At one point, the series actually starred a group of superheroes called the Quantic Kids. The whole series would have actually been set in Paris, and this would have been really good to see, considering that Thomas has actually worked on Code Lyoko and Witch in the past, two teen series. But unfortunately, people really didn't respond well to the idea of the Quantic Kids, so it was narrowed down to just being about Chat Noir and Ladybug. In 2012, the internet first caught wind of Miraculous Ladybug through a PV called Ladybug PV. It was animated by Toei Animation, and it gave us a look at Marionette as Ladybug and a boy called Felix as Chat Noir. So as you can imagine, the series was originally going to be the first ever French anime. By this I mean the storyboarding and the creation would have been done in France, but then the animation would have been done by Toei. It was originally going to be aimed at a much older audience, but once again, no one really responded well to this, and eventually it was reimagined into its current lighter tone, but it is worth saying an OVA is being released that's sort of in a similar art style to the original Ladybug PV. But it is worth noting the character of Felix is gone, like he's done with. Thomas really didn't like Felix at all, which is kind of fair enough, and he felt like Felix really didn't have enough chemistry with Marionette, so he reimagined the character into Adrian. It's actually worth saying that the original Ladybug series is totally different to the Ladybug series we have now. It was gonna focus on political activism, corporate fuckery, and even social issues. It was just totally different to what we have now. This being said, I do enjoy what we have now, and if that series had come out, maybe it wouldn't have lasted as long because it was aimed at an older audience. The main thing about the original series that Thomas really wanted to make sure that he carried over to the new series is that he wanted to make sure the world understood that Marionette is not a cliche. She is a merge between Spider-Man and Sailor Moon, and she is a fully fleshed out human. She's not just a female superhero. The series was met with so much immediate success that it was instantly renewed for season 2 and season 3, all of them having a minimum of 26 episodes. So the series is set in modern day Paris, and it stars a girl called Marionette and a boy called Adrien, and they save Paris from evil by becoming the superheroes Ladybug and Chat Noir with their magic jewelry called Miraculous. Now the Miraculous allows them to transform into their superhero personas by using these beings called Kwami. There's a bad guy called Hawkmoth, and he sends out these little evil bugs called Akumas that transform regular people into bad guys. Let's talk about Adrian and Marionette very quickly. They're both very different characters, from their superhero self to their everyday self. Marionette in her everyday self is very clumsy. She's very creative, but she doesn't really understand how to interact with people that well, and she tends to be a bit clumsy and quirky and so. Adrian in his everyday self is quite shy. He's more of a follower, less of a leader. When they become their superhero personas, they both totally dump that side of themselves, and they both become the best version of themselves that they can be. They're both super confident and everyone loves them, and they know how to interact with people very, very well. Overall, Ladybug is a great series. It's changed so many times over its development. I'm sure we haven't even gotten to see half the iterations that it had, but I can't wait to see what it becomes by the end of the series, because it is just getting deeper and deeper. No one expected that for the first 10 episodes, because it did seem to be more of a monster of the week kind of thing, but especially recently, it's become very deep, and I'm enjoying it a lot. Ladybug is really, really good. Please do check it out. It's in Nickelodeon in the US, Tofu in France, Tele-Quebec in Canada, and Disney Channel everywhere else. It's super effective! Okay guys, that is it for today. So what do you think of Miraculous Ladybug? Please leave in the comments down below. And also don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And also don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, support the show by checking my Patreon if you want to see bigger and better and more history videos. And also don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel if you want to see me play dating sims. My name is Faust, this has been Exploring Comics, and it is super effective.